Well, good morning. Happy Friday. I'm going to put on another Facebook Live and see if I can experiment and do this together. I just finished up doing my Zoom workout class, which many times I offer a free class on Facebook, and that's what I do is I put my other, let's see, right there. Cool. All right, so I'm on twice. And the reason why I'm on twice today is I feel like I haven't been on all week. Last week or so, I think it's closer to 2 weeks, I've been in terrible pain with my shoulder. And took me down a road for an MRI, found out I have 3 herniated discs in my neck, arthritis, and it doesn't look like a neck for a 47 or 48-year-old. So I said to myself as I'm listening to 2 doctors saying this to me in the last week, well, what do I do? Like each time, like my lower back, I haven't been in this much pain as probably since my lower back. And my lower back has, knocked on a lot of wood, has repaired itself to the point as long as I don't do stupid shit, it stays put, right? I stretch, I do what I need to do. This was something new. So it makes me go down the path of, okay, so what do I do to make the pain less? Because in my whole journey, it doesn't matter what it was, I was trying to put my pain out. Sometimes I was trying to put my pain out in a bad way, right? Bad habit necessarily, not a bad way. But these habits get you down one path. And eating your way there, or drinking you too much, or smoking to keep yourself anxiety down. Those are reasons all the wrong path to take, right? So what do you do when you're in humbling pain, and what can you do? Well, I go back to all the things, the healthy habits that I know. Eating better food, right? Fasting longer, because there are studies that show that when you fast, your body kind of retunes itself. And sometimes I know I don't fast as long. Sometimes I treat myself, right? And I don't eat necessarily clean or too much sugar or a little bit of gluten, and it catches up with me, So I wanted to pop on, and this is really more of like a everything. I have a Misfits box here that I wanted to kind of unbox. And I bought some things in there that it's the second time now, like there's a trail mix that's unbelievable. And then it made me think to myself, well, let me see, can I make what's it take to make your own trail mix? You look at the ingredients, And we recently found some different dried fruits and different combinations and dark chocolate chips, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll make my own trail mix. So I have some ingredients to show you of that. And then to catch up a little bit more, I just recently realized, okay, I'm out of my coffee and all that, and it gave me an opportunity to, because I just opened up all the boxes that I haven't in the last week or so, coffee. Now, this is a big ass bag, and it's also backwards on here because I didn't press the button. But this organic, it's 11 pounds. No, I'm sorry, it's 5 pounds. 5 pounds, and it is $38. And it's organic. It's the beans, right? Coffee beans. And here's why. A few years back, when I was doing some research on, what the FDA allows in your coffee, and it just came across, like, it was like, do you know there's a percentage of bugs and bark allowed in your coffee? And I was like, what? And it made me do a little homework. And when I realized, wait a minute, every time you go to Starbucks and 7-Eleven and the coffee convenience store around the corner, that's kind of pretty crappy crap coffee anyway. And then how much of it is allowed? So for myself, I went the route of finding the inexpensive organic beans that I use a grinder. I grind it up. Then instead of 20,000 million plastic K-cups floating around in the water everywhere, I've This doesn't match because you can see they're well loved. I think it was like a package of 6 or 12 or something, but it's down to 2, and I think the matching one is in the dishwasher at the moment. But you put the coffee right in here, you put it right in your K-cup, and then bam, you know. And there's no bark and chip and branches in your coffee. So one of the other little treats that I kind of done for myself is then I go, there's a local market by me called Fresh Market, and they have bean coffee there, and they have flavored bean coffee. So sometimes I'll treat myself and get that, or I'll just put it in combination together or make my own brew or whatever. But I wanted to show you because I thought that, you know, people drink so much coffee, and you know, I went to 7-Eleven the other day, and the guy was trying to get me to sign up for the rewards, whatever, and he's like, well, aren't you here? Don't you always drink coffee? Blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I don't drink coffee here. And it made me realize, like, you know, there's a lot of people that are probably looking for a better coffee. This is what I do to keep, to know what I'm drinking, to know what I'm putting in my body, really. And truthfully, yeah, that's a treat because I'm not 100% sure what a snickerdoodle looks like in artificial flavors, but it's on there. The other option too, which I came across, and I haven't really perfected this very well. I think my problem is impatience, and when I go to boil the water, I don't really wait till it really boils, and then I may have to do the grinds just a little bit less. And putting that together, you put this right on your little cup, like this, and you pour the water in after you put a table or two. You make your own brew of coffee, and then you can dump that, and then you got your coffee. So I mean, it's another simple, crazy way to do it. Okay, Misfit box. I don't feel like I'm putting so much in together, but I'm catching up. I'm not lifting it either because my shoulder's not 100%. So, what I have to say about Misfit is the packaging is always different. And I really think it's based on the climate, because now that there's snow on the ground, as you can see, it just comes with this little bit of nothing. Sometimes there's an ice pack in here, more I guess in the spring and summer. And what's pretty cool about that is I save them sometimes. Throw them in a cooler, I do this, I do that with it. I try to use the boxes for everything. Right now, I'm packing up a house. I get this once a week. I get a box every week with wrapping that I can reuse and put my shit in. So, you know, it's like a win-win-win. So there is, this is rainbow Swiss chard. I have to say it looked a lot more rainbow in the picture, but it's delicious. And what I usually typically do with it is I chop it all up, I put it in a pan, put a little garlic powder, a little organic avocado oil, salt, pepper, that's really it, and saute it. I try not to get it like totally mushy, a little bit wilty, you know, I like, and that's what I do with that. Pineapple. My daughter asked if we could grab a little pineapple. To say it's a tiny little pineapple. This is my first, I think it was an extra. Maybe it wasn't an extra. I don't think it was an extra. Cabbage. I saw the best, well I had the best cabbage recipe at a very cool place called Farm to Table here nearby in Wisconsin. I actually got to the place where I said, you know what, I've been there a few times and I'm like, that's gotta be the owner, you know? So I making small talk and I told her a little bit what I do and she was like, I would love to talk to you, let's set up a time. So we're gonna set something up and hopefully work together because I think that's pretty cool. In any which way, I love their food. I love that it's as organic as it can be and as vegan, many choices as you can, you know, and it's good food, you know, and they have this kind of, you know, behind the glass, and they also have the table sit down area too that I noticed. So I'd like to go there one day. maybe when COVID settles down a little bit. Although I do go into restaurants. Butternut squash, little guy, perfect. I always, these are my go-tos for this. I think I have a recipe somewhere, and maybe my Emma can help me with that. She's my social media manager, and she's keeping me together. And so we started doing these cook-alongs, and so I believe this was one of the cook-alongs. It was probably my first, so it wasn't the greatest. Keep trying, you know, that's what we gotta do. Anyway, so butternut squash, so I'm gonna make that again. Beets. I had to literally Google what these were when I got them, and then I had to check back with the supermarket because I was like, at first, I don't know, some of the stuff was so foreign to me, right? So simple, and I got the best recipes, like, from people just on Facebook. But what I do is I put it in aluminum foil, throw it in the oven so I can put a fork through it. Once it cools off, you can literally pull the skin off of it. I slice it, again with the garlic, a little bit of avocado oil, and balsamic vinegar. And you gotta look at the balsamic vinegar. Don't do the glaze. The glaze has sugar and dextron and shit in it. You don't need that. The other extra, well, 2 extras I guess I got. Ooh, yes. Pea shoots. I've never really had pea shoots, so I was like, all right, it's time to try this. And I think that I'm gonna make some really good salads with pea shoots. Let's see if I can even just do the Swiss chard, maybe not warmed. I don't know. This is the granola that I was talking about. It's a treat granola for me because it's definitely got chocolate in there. It's all organic. It was $7.99. As you can tell, my mouth is watering. It's a combination, which is pretty cool, of walnuts, which I think there's something on the walnut that makes it even extra little special. And almonds, I'm not a big fan, but I kind of like it in here. The peanuts, I like that they're organic because it's really hard to find organic peanuts since it's like one of those GMO mainstream, you know, ingredients. So this, when you put it, pop it in your mouth, and like I used to be the kind where, oh, let me take the almonds and you know. But when you start popping it in your mouth, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's like a peanut M&M and like a goober at the same time. And I was like, so this basically, I'm not going to get off task, is what I kind of wanted to just mention over there. Sweet potatoes, I always get sweet potatoes. Again, the easiest way to do this is wrap it up in aluminum foil, pop it in the oven. You can make a mash out of it right from there. I break my fast in the mornings with it. And again, I go back to my raisins or my nuts, and I throw it in there with a little organic maple syrup, and that's how I break my fast. Maybe 11, 12 o'clock. My favorite, mangoes. I don't remember what these are called, but the other ones are not my favorite. A very loose, because I noticed that there was a package in there of organic grapes. They all seem to make it just fine. Some oranges. It gives you choices, which is pretty cool. So you can go to the website at a certain day when you're scheduled to order, and then you can put everything in, or you could absolutely not, and then just get strange stuff that you might not be used to. And to me, that was how I started. Now I kind of do a week here, a week there. I remember, I don't. Sometimes you can shut it off super easy. If my fridge has too many veggies or fruit in there, I just shut it off for the week. All different types of potatoes, and then very cool. They started doing this not too long ago, and they're even getting smarter because sometimes I have something else in here. No, I guess they're not. Because it's now like a little vinyl rather than paper, but I guess the paper, it's wet, right? So, so now they have some different recipes, and yeah. recipe card. I guess it's recipe 86. So, I'm talking about recipes, and I will get my tomatoes. I walked around Trader Joe's. That's one of the stores that I go to. I also have a link that I post everything that I buy off of Amazon. And a lot of ingredients that I get at Trader Joe's, I can get out at Amazon. And it all works out really, really great, because when I work with people in the middle of the country that may not have a grocery store on every corner, like I kind of do, you know, we all need one place to say, hey, this is what I get, where do you get it? And Amazon's the place. So it has worked out well, because people in the middle of the country can place an order and get, you know, pea shoots, where they 2 hours drive and the closest, you know, store is a Walmart. So what I have found is at Trader Joe's, their chocolate, and this is vegan, which is great, so good. This is basically when I would be making my trail mix. So I'm going to be putting my chocolate in here. Very much like that. It's going to be a little different because we accidentally bought this. My daughter did, thinking they were like little gummies or whatever. They are. They're like they're not really bad at all. They're apple puree concentrate, mango, lemon, jalapenos. It has a kick, right? And I was like, wait a minute, that would be perfect in a trail mix. So then I looked around a little bit more. I love cranberries. Cranberries are really not in there. Really not. But putting them together, and then I had to go to my regular. And these are all on that link. If they're not, they're going to be. This one's going to be on Amazon. But this is a 3-berry, so it's got the cranberries, raisins, and blueberries in there. And then they actually have like a whole nother dried blueberry, which is awesome because I love blueberries. What I think is interesting at Trader Joe's, and here's where I would say I'm gonna look for another peanut, but many of their nuts are organic and raw, which is great because if it's raw, it's easy. You can even, when I add something to it, like I said, I think those walnuts had something on it. You know, you can sprinkle it with a little cinnamon, spray it with a little coconut oil, and put it in the oven for a few minutes and toast it up, and then you could add it to whatever. Same thing with the cashews. Oh, this is dried. This isn't. So I've done it, and it tastes a little burnt, and I don't like that. Pecans is another one. They have these crazy pecans there. Super crazy treat. It's like #1 ingredient sugar. So, you know, it's a candy covered pecan. And so this gives me an opportunity to kind of take that much sugar out and just make it a little bit more of what I want. So my plan today is to take, what I was saying is some ingredients, which I find is interesting because I was looking all over the place and they have to have organic peanuts. They don't. But I wanted to do the combination and make it like a goober and a peanut M&M. So I broke down and got the non-organic. And this is raw pecans. Again, you got to look for the 2 symbols if you are not sure what they are. The first one here is non-GMO. It's with the butterfly. It's actually a non-for-profit group that just labels, because we don't have labeling in our country for non-GMO. And then the USDA, which is backwards for you, but this is what I look for, because it could say organic all at once, but if it doesn't have that, it means it doesn't have a certain standard. So, and while we're here, one more thing is organic. When you look at the labels, and I know I've said this before, look for, it's a 5-digit with a 9. And that means that this has been done organic and non-GMO. So there's different things here that I wanted to show you. I'm glad that, I hope I was in this one, I keep looking at that one. But I hope that, well, I'll show you how the trail mix goes, and maybe if it tastes good, I'll do a cook along or like, you know, a how-to that I did. And I would love to hear any trail mixes that you come up with or that you are your favorites, because for me, you know, for $7.99, that's great, and it's all organic and all that. And I say, why not try making my own? And if I like it just as much, see what the price of that is and all that. You know, I mean, keep it simpler. But either way, I probably will always keep that in the house because my kids like it, and I'd rather than eat some nuts and some chocolate than no nuts at all. So I hope that you have a great day and a great weekend, and my plan is to be on each day around 8 o'clock, just checking in, you know. Some days it's going to be workouts, some days it's going to be like, you know, question answers. I always love to hear any questions or answers. Are you looking great? Oh. So I hope that you have a great day, great weekend, and I'll chat with you tomorrow.